So today we are going to talk about the difference between being busy and being productive. Now, I don't know if I really thought about the difference as I was going through high school, college, undergrad, grad school, and just all the things I need to do for my career and life. But as I got older, as I started to pay more attention to who I am, and then as I moved into my career, I realized that there is a difference between being busy and being productive. So today we're going to talk about the difference. I want you to understand the difference, and then I want you to take your own inventory. And as we go through this video, I'm going to show you some things that I want you to notice and some things that maybe you can do differently so that you fall into the productive category rather than the busyness category. Because busyness can have its consequences. And so we're going to talk about that. I'm Charese Josie. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I am a therapist. I'm a women's leadership coach. And I work with a high achieving woman leader. And I like this population because I realize I am she. And there's not a lot of spaces for us to go. There's not a lot of people for us to talk to because we are typically the go-to ones. We are the responsible ones. We are the leaders, the directors, the supervisors. We're the entrepreneurs. We're all these things. And so when we need to notice something about ourselves, are we just supposed to suck it up? Are we supposed to know what to do? And can we go to a place where we're not having unsolicited advice or opinions? That's what this forum is for. So join me as we dive into this topic about the difference between busyness and being productive. So not knowing and practicing the difference has implications on your emotional and your physical health. Can you imagine being busy all the time, where at the end of the day you're so exhausted that you really can't tell someone what you did that day? I've had it happen before. I'm sure you have too. And you think, oh, today was so productive and I'm so tired, but maybe today was just really actually busy. So if I was to ask you, well, what did you do today? And you're thinking, wait a minute, let me think, what did I do? Maybe you have fallen into the busyness category, not so much being productive. So it could also have consequences on your relationship. Because if you're rooted in busyness, you don't have the emotional space and capacity to give your relationships the attention they desire. You're emotionally depleted. Even if you have a job or career that's not necessarily physical in nature, but emotional energy is just as exhausting as physical energy. So you may not have the emotional capacity to give your relationship what it desires. So what we want is to be what we are is to be busy, but what we want is to be productive. So let's dive through and let's kind of go through the differences. So let's talk first about busyness. And as I go through this, take your own inventory. Get a sheet of paper out and see how many on this list that applies to you. Just do a little tally mark, do a check mark, and let's see how many that fits into the business category. So people that are typically busy are unsatisfied. Now we don't know it, right? There's an unmet need that we have that we have to do a task, but we're unsatisfied because that task is never completed. So you have a to-do list. You're like, yes, I completed the first 3 things on my to-do list. I'm doing great. This is wonderful. And when you complete those 3 things, before you have time to celebrate, you are already going to do the next 3 things that you have on your list. You said, great, now that I got this done, I can do these things. And it may be a temporary satisfaction, but really overall it's an unsatisfaction. So does that apply to you? So give yourself a check mark, give yourself a tick. The next one is rooted in perfectionism. Now, some of us have this insight to know that we are perfectionists. Some of us know that, and some we're not sure. And perfectionist means that we keep doing things eventually because we want to get it right? We keep doing it. I want to get this right. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to drop the ball, right? I have to keep all these things in the air because it's up to me. And if I let anything fall, it's going to be my fault. And what happens is that we're really scared that we can't handle the response if something falls. We can't handle the outcome. What if it is my fault? Here's the thing I want you to think about. Who gets to determine if something is right? Who determines that? It's really your own inventory when you say, you know what, this is done right. This needs to be done. But really, who made these rules? And if you made them, guess what? You get to also break them. You get to do that, right? But if you're rooted into some perfectionism, give yourself a tally mark. Next, having unrealistic goals, unrealistic to-do lists for a daily task. You always have something to do. Maybe the night before you're thinking, you're listing, you're doing all these things that you want to take care of, but you know there is not enough hours in a day to do that, right? But you think, I'm going to try, or you don't even have the self-awareness to know, I can't get this done. And so one of the things to do is realize, you know what do I have to get done? What do I need to get done? And what do I just want to get done? Right? But if your to-do list is unrealistic and long, give yourself a check mark. Okay? So maybe another thing is that you want other people to be busy as well. Because if someone else is busy, it tells you that look how much harder I'm working. Right? You're not being busy. You're not being productive. So have you ever been at work and you feel like you're doing all the work and so next to you is not doing as much work as you're doing? And while that may be true, maybe you are doing more work. Also think, do you have to do that work that you're doing? Because really, your paycheck isn't going to change, right? You're getting the same paycheck, the same amount as the other person. And in some jobs, don't tell anyone I told you this, but in some jobs, the person who does less usually get their promotions a lot of times. Why? Because they have learned to tap into relationships versus the busyness. Because jobs kind of typically assume that, hey, we can always find someone to do the job, but we can't always find someone to make us feel good. Right? So maybe you might be thinking, well, you're not working as hard as I am. And that may be true. But give yourself a check mark if you think, you know what, sometimes I think that. And sometimes I get really frustrated if someone is not working as hard as I am. This is also a way that we protect ourselves emotionally because we deflect from what we're feeling and what we're experiencing, and we focus more on what is and is not being done and completed by other people around us. So that's a good thing to kind of give yourself a little inventory on. The next is my multitaskers. So if you're a multitasker, definitely give yourself a check mark. Now, I will be honest. I used to think that having the ability to multitask was some sign of success. I don't know who told me that. I never got a reward for it. But if I was able to manage multiple things at one time and then I also got them done, oh, you couldn't tell me anything. Like, I'm just the best thing ever. Look how great I did. All that stuff. But really, multitasking is a lack of focus, right? It's the appearance that we can handle anything, but it really says that we can't focus on one thing, that we're also overworking and overwhelming our brain to do so many things at one time. And we've kind of touched on all these different areas, but nothing was given our full attention, and it deserves your full attention. So if you're one of my multitaskers, give yourself a little tick mark. The other one is overwhelm. You overwhelm yourself with tasks, right? You overwhelm yourself because you feel like maybe you can't perform well if you don't do these things, right? So too many goals, having too many priorities is overwhelm. We only can do so much. There's only 24 hours in a day. And if we include breaks, if we include self-care, if we include connecting with other people, talking, laughing, sitting, just enjoying and just being, we won't have time for all of that, right? But if we don't give ourselves spaces for that, then we're rooted in overwhelm. So that's it for the busy list. So let me know in the comments, how many times did you check? How many tick marks do you have for the busy list? Now let's go on to the productive list. Let's see where you get there, right? And this time we're going to give ourselves a check mark. So as I go through the list of being productive, of good productivity, give yourself a check mark, a high five. Like, hey, I'm doing well in this area. Right? Productive people have purpose. Now, I think all of us have a purpose. If you have a purpose and you know your purpose, give yourself a check mark. We deserve it and we know. If not, okay, then let's figure out how to understand your purpose. And people want to know that all the time. What's my purpose? What I want to do? I might do another video on that because I think that's an important topic, but I will say quickly here that if you're not sure what your purpose is, I want you to notice some of the things that you're doing on the busy list, and then we're going to work on taking those off. Because when we're busy, we can't think. When we're multitasking, we don't know what we're good at. We can't hear other people's feedback about what we're good at. If you want to know your purpose, cut out some things, focus on maybe 1 to 3 things that you enjoy, and then see how do you feel when you do those things. When you say, well, I'm fully focused on this 1 to maybe 3 things at a time, and I fully commit myself for 90 days in this thing, learning, exploring, getting feedback, how do you feel? Do you feel as good as you thought you wanted to? Maybe it's your purpose. Maybe it becomes your hobby. Maybe it's just your downtime, but then you get more clarity about where to put that. All right? So the next one, people who are productive think clearly to work on their passion. So just went over that, right? You think clearly, and the way you think clearly is you move some of the other stuff out of the way. People who are productive focus on their strengths, right? That means we're operating in our strengths. Busyness sometimes says that I'm so good at so many things and let me prove it. And this might be conscious or unconscious. I'm going to prove it to my employer. I'm going to prove it to my husband. I'm going to prove it to my kids. I'm going to prove it to my mom. I'm going to prove it to my dad and all this stuff of how good I am in all these other areas, right? Guess what? We might be good in a lot of things, but we're really only great at a few things. Focus on the things that you're great at and be even greater at it. Become an expert at it. That's where the productivity comes in. And guess what? You'll also have more time in your day to relax and see how that feels for you. The other one is having realistic daily goals. Productive people will have maybe 1 to 3 goals per day. Now, I know my busy women, my busy mom, my busy wives, my busy entrepreneurs, all them like 1 to 3 goals. That sounds so unrealistic. There's no way that I could have 1 to 3 goals a day. Keep in mind that goals are something that you want to do and that you can accomplish and that moves you forward. It's not something that you have to do, right? So I can say my daily goal is to record this video, right? That's going to propel me forward. Something I need to do is the laundry. Nothing about the laundry is going to propel me forward in this moment, right? So it's a difference. So the goal might be, okay, I want to record a video today, right? I have an appointment that I need to go to. And maybe I want to cook dinner. Those are my 3 things that I want to accomplish for the day. And when I accomplish them, I'm going to feel good. That's productivity. The other thing is that we focus on the important things first. So I've said to, I think, a couple of friends today, it's like, hey, yeah, I see that. I'm going to get to it as soon as I finish my videos. When I finish my videos, I'll look at that. Oh, this looks good. When I finish my videos, I'm going to look at that. We prioritize what's important to us first, and then we'll do other things later on if time permits. If it doesn't permit, it's okay because it wasn't part of our goal. And the other thing is that people who are productive value time. Now, I am a huge advocate in time. I don't know if y'all seen Maxine Waters, right, who says, I'm reclaiming my time. That's me all the way. That's me all day long. Time is so important. I think the older I get, the more I value time, and I value my emotional space of my time. So I value my time. I value how I use my time. I value who is a part of my time in my space. So if you value time, that means you respect your time. You're encouraging other people to respect your time. Then you might be productive. So go ahead and give yourself a check mark. And the last one is, or no, 2 more. The other one is productive people are okay with saying no. No, I can't do anything. Yeah, that sounds great, but no, I can't right now. Maybe another time. Anything like that. It's okay to say no. You know, no is a complete sentence. You've heard that before, right? There's no way you can be productive if you are scattered because of external forces. That can even be emails, phone calls, text messaging, social media, even telling yourself, no, this is what I'm going to focus on today. This is what I'm going to do today. And that you honor that time, all right? And the last thing is that productive people want other people to be effective, right? So we talked before how busy people want other people to be busy, Productive people say, hey, I'm rooting for you. Hey, I want you to use your time wisely. I'm not going to help you to not use your time wisely, right? I'm going to be an agent of change and support for you, right? And so you want other people to win and you want them to be effective. So that's you. Go ahead and give yourself a check mark. So, a couple things. Getting a task done does not equal a result, right? Getting a task done does not guarantee a result. So just like I gave the example earlier, like doing laundry. Yes, I do laundry. The laundry's done. Because I did that load of clothes, that means there's no clothes to wear? Absolutely, there's clothes to wear. I just did the laundry, right? It didn't move anything forward, right? So getting a task done does not guarantee the result, right? But being productive does propel you forward. It might be small, it might be somewhere in the middle, but either way, you're still moving forward. And that's something for you to celebrate. So a few things that I want you to do, just three little mantras I want you to think about. Write them down if they're helpful to you. What I can eliminate, I will. Because we can't do everything, right? That puts us in the busyness category. What I can eliminate, I will eliminate. I will get done what I enjoy. I will get done what I enjoy. Now, let's be clear about that one. Life is going to happen. There's going to be things that we have to do that we may not know if we enjoy. My daughter will ask me a lot, Mommy, do you like doing our hair? Mommy, do you like doing your makeup? And I'll tell her, I said, there's some things that just needs to be done that me worrying about if I enjoy it or not is kind of a waste of time because I know it needs to be done. I know I need to do my daughter's hair, right? I know I need to put makeup on when I'm doing certain things. In those days when there's not a makeup day, I don't wear makeup, right? And so we get to decide, like, I'll get things done that I enjoy doing. I enjoy doing the videos. I enjoy talking with you all. I enjoy connecting with you all. I want to get it done, right? Now, the prep work might be a little, let me try to get myself together. But when I sit down here and just being able to connect with you, I enjoy doing that. The last one is what I can't do, I will reassign. I will reassign or I will let it go. Sometimes we don't always have people and places that we can reassign things to, but we also need to evaluate, do I need those things? Maybe I need to reevaluate other things in my life so I can make more emotional and physical space for things that I need to reassign to someone else. If there's no one else and I need to do it, okay, I want to create an environment where I continue to be productive, but weaving in this thing that I maybe don't want to do. Also, give yourself a self-evaluation. Just because you need to do something doesn't mean you need to do it perfect, right? And definitely not every time. So you say, well, I need to clean my house. There's no one here else to clean it. Maybe I can afford someone to come in my house once a month to help me clean. That's great. But then you can break that up, right? Do you have to clean the entire house every time you clean? No. Can you do a little bit during the week? I think you probably can do a little bit during the week. And some things you might say, you know what? If it's not CPS worthy, I can let it go. If it's not CPS worthy, let it go, right? Let it go. Do a little bit at a time and celebrate your wins along the way. Way back when, I used to clean my whole house in one day. Was able to do it. Had kids. I just didn't have the energy to do that anymore. I didn't have the space. I didn't have the time. I didn't have anything to clean the house one day. So I would clean a floor at a time, or try to clean a floor at a time. And I even had a difficult time doing that. I'm like, what happened? I used to be able to clean the entire house in a day. So then I said, you know what? I'm just going to clean a room. Let me just get a room. I'm going to clean a bathroom. I'm going to clean a bedroom. And I'll be done. Can you believe I even have a hard time sometimes getting that done between energy, desire, and just other things with having the small kids? It was challenging. After a while, I just wiped off the countertop and celebrated myself. That's what I could do at the time, right? Because it'll get done. And guess what? My house is not CPS worthy. That's just how it is. So I would love to hear your thoughts about the video. Click the thumbs up, comment below, share the video. Definitely subscribe. We're here every Monday. We'll drop a new video. And if you would like to work with me, check the show notes. And there's some links there. And I would love to connect with you. Until next time, y'all have a good one.